Not everyone starts life with private jets, trust funds, or billion-dollar inheritances. Some people build everything from zero and do it before they even turn 40. These are the youngest self-made billionaires in the world. People who spotted opportunities, took insane risks, and reshaped industries like tech, beauty, AI, fintech, and even fitness. In this video, we're counting down from number 10 all the way to number 1. The lower the number, the bigger the fortune. And trust me, some of these stories are so wild, they sound like movie scripts. Let's jump in. At number 10 is Pearl Kapoor, a 28-year-old Indian entrepreneur and the youngest self-made billionaire in his country. What makes his story unbelievable is how fast everything happened. Kapoor earned his master's degree in investment banking from Queen Mary University of London, returned to India, and worked in finance for a short period, but he wanted to build something of his own. That led to Zyber 365, a Web3 and AI-powered cybersecurity startup he co-founded in 2023. And here's the crazy part. Within just 3 months, the company hit unicorn status after raising $100 million. That deal valued Zyber 365 at $1.2 billion. Since Kapoor kept a 90% personal stake, his net worth shot to $1.1 billion almost overnight. His company focuses on decentralized cybersecurity, enterprise-grade blockchain, and AI-driven retail systems. Instead of just jumping onto the blockchain hype, Kapoor convinced major investors that the future of cybersecurity lies in decentralization, and they bet big on him. Coming in at number 9 is Stanley Tang, worth $1.2 billion. If the name sounds familiar, that's because he's one of the co-founders of DoorDash, the food delivery giant that completely changed how people order meals. Stanley was already entrepreneurial at 14 when he published an Amazon best-selling book titled E-Millions. A few years later, he landed at Stanford University where he met Tony Xu and Andy Fang. Together, the three of them launched what would become DoorDash. Tang played a huge role in developing the early technology behind the platform and helping it scale quickly. After DoorDash exploded in popularity and went public in 2020, Tang's shares instantly made him a billionaire. Today, he runs DoorDash Labs, the division focused on robotics and autonomous delivery technology. At number 8, we have Selena Gomez. Yes, that's Selena Gomez, with a net worth of $1.3 billion. And if you're wondering how a former Disney star became a self-made billionaire, the answer is rare beauty. Selena went from acting on Wizards of Waverly Place to launching a massively successful music career, but it was her 2020 beauty brand that changed everything. Rare Beauty focused on what the industry had been missing: inclusivity, accessible makeup, and products designed to enhance natural beauty instead of hiding it. Selena connected deeply with her audience by promoting confidence, authenticity, and mental health. Rare Beauty didn't just become another celebrity brand, it became one of the fastest-growing cosmetics companies in the world, valued in the billions. Combined with her real estate holdings, music catalog, and success as a producer on shows like Only Murders in the Building, Selena crossed into billionaire territory by 2024. Sliding into number 7 is Ben Francis, the 35-year-old UK entrepreneur behind Gymshark, also worth around $1.3 billion. His story is the definition of modern-day hustle. Ben founded Gymshark in 2012 from his parents' garage while juggling university classes and a job as a Pizza Hut delivery driver. At the time, the fitness apparel market had huge brands but lacked stylish, form-fitting gear for young gym enthusiasts. Ben, who had zero experience in fashion, taught himself how to sew and began producing his own clothes. A breakthrough moment came in 2013 when a Gymshark tracksuit went viral on Facebook, earning £30,000 in 30 minutes. Influencer marketing was still new back then, but Ben was one of the first people to see its potential. He sent Gymshark apparel to fitness YouTubers and Instagram athletes, and the brand exploded. In 2020, Gymshark was valued at over £1 billion after selling a stake to General Atlantic. Ben kept most of his shares, making him the UK's youngest self-made billionaire. Despite the wealth, he's still known for being incredibly grounded, always focusing on community and fitness culture. At number 6 is Andy Fang, worth $1.5 billion and another co-founder of DoorDash. Andy was born in San Jose to Taiwanese-American parents and studied computer science at Stanford. While many people build class projects that get forgotten after graduation, Andy and his co-founders built DoorDash from a simple idea. Small restaurants needed help reaching customers. In the early days, Andy, Stanley, and Tony actually delivered the food themselves just to understand the problems restaurants faced. Andy went on to become DoorDash's head of consumer engineering, shaping how millions of users interact with the platform every day. After the company's IPO in 2020, his 4% share made him a billionaire. He's also heavily involved in philanthropy, donating to schools and tech programs to help the next generation follow a similar path. Number 5 belongs to Taylor Swift with a net worth of $1.6 billion. Few artists in history have built an empire as powerful as hers. Taylor started as a teenage country singer in Nashville, writing emotional songs that resonated deeply with millions. But what took her to billionaire status was a perfect combination of reinvention, business brilliance, and owning her art. Her 2014 album, 1989, marked her full transition into pop, a move that took her career to a global level. But the real financial turning point was the Eras Tour in 2023. Not only did it break records, it became the highest-grossing tour of all time, earning over $1 billion. Add that to the massive success of re-recording her old albums to regain ownership of her masters, plus real estate investments across multiple cities, and Taylor became a billionaire entirely from her creative work. Coming in at number 4 is Alexander Wang, the 28-year-old founder of Scale AI with a net worth of $2 billion. Alexander grew up in New Mexico as the son of physicists, which explains his early love for math and coding. By the time most kids were preparing for high school dances, he was already competing in advanced math competitions and doing coding tournaments. At 17, he landed a job at Quora. 2 years later, he dropped out of MIT to start Scale AI with Lucy Guo. Their idea was simple but groundbreaking. Businesses needed huge amounts of high-quality labeled data to train artificial intelligence models. Scale AI became the engine behind the AI revolution, powering companies like OpenAI and even the US Air Force. By 25, Alexander became the world's youngest self-made billionaire, not by creating AI, but by making it usable for everyone else. At number 3 is Palmer Luckey, worth around $2.45 billion. Palmer's rise started in his parents' garage in Long Beach, California, where he experimented with virtual reality headsets. That tinkering eventually became the Oculus Rift. His Kickstarter campaign in 2012 raised over $2 million, catching the attention of Facebook, which bought Oculus for $2 billion in 2014. You'd think that would be the end of the story, but Palmer's journey took another twist. After leaving Facebook in 2017, he founded Endural Industries, a defense tech company that builds AI surveillance systems and autonomous drones. Endural now secures billion-dollar contracts with the US government, and Palmer's net worth keeps climbing. He's known not only for innovation, but also for his eccentric hobbies, including owning the world's largest video game collection stored in an underground missile base. Yes, a missile base. The runner-up spot at number 2 goes to Evan Spiegel, co-founder and CEO of Snap Inc., with a net worth of about $2.7 billion. Evan grew up in Los Angeles and studied product design at Stanford, where the idea for Snapchat was born. He and his classmates Bobby Murphy and Reggie Brown created an app centered around disappearing photos, something no other social platform was doing at the time. The concept took off fast among teenagers, and Snapchat grew into a cultural phenomenon. In 2017, Evan took Snap public at just 26 years old, making him one of the youngest CEOs ever to lead a major IPO. Even though the company's valuation has fluctuated over the years, Evan remains a multi-billionaire. Finally, number 1 on the list is John Collison, the Irish entrepreneur with a massive net worth of $10.1 billion. John and his brother Patrick grew up in County Tipperary, raised in a family that encouraged academic curiosity. John excelled early, scoring the highest marks ever recorded on the Irish Leaving Certificate exam before attending Harvard. But Harvard didn't last long. He dropped out to pursue his entrepreneurial ambitions. At just 17, he and Patrick sold their first company, Octomatic, for $5 million. 3 years later, they launched Stripe, the online payment platform that made accepting payments as easy as a few lines of code. Stripe quickly became the backbone of internet commerce, powering millions of businesses worldwide. With a valuation around $65 billion, Stripe turned both brothers into some of the youngest billionaires ever. Outside of business, John is a licensed pilot, a pianist, and he invests in restoring historic Irish properties. Let me know in the comments, and if you're into more stories of entrepreneurship, wealth building, and ambition, make sure to stick around. There's plenty more coming.